I'm Jeff Merchant. I'm the Western District Fisheries Biologist. I oversee management on lakes in the Southwest. Looking really good this year, as expected. We didn't have much snow this year, basically zero snow cover on all of our lakes in the Southwest, so oxygen is looking good. On the lakes we could get to, with the mild temperatures, the ice conditions were a little iffy this year. Water levels are doing okay. Obviously we're not going to get any runoff this year, but going into the fall, things were looking pretty good. If the dry trends continue, by the end of the summer, we could be down quite a bit in the Southwest. Walleyes are doing pretty good. We got 3 lakes that are really strong for walleyes: Lake Chida, Indian Creek, and Patterson. Good sizes at all 3 of those. Really good numbers at Chida. That's always a good walleye hotspot. For pike, for numbers, there's 2 lakes that come to mind: Gascoyne and Kalina down in that Bowman country. Both good numbers of pike, a little smaller size structure, probably only up to about 5 pounds, most of them there. For larger pike, Lake Chida again, and Patterson Lake, and Bowman Haley as well. For panfish, bluegill specifically, we've got a few lakes that are doing pretty good right now. Davis Dam down in Slope County, really good numbers of fish there. Not as big on the size structure. Camel's Hump, really nice size fish, up to 10 inches there. Indian Creek, also really nice size bluegills there, up to 10 inches. Smallmouth bass fishing in the Southwest, we've got 2 lakes that really come to mind: Lake Chida and Indian Creek. Both have phenomenal numbers and size of smallmouth bass. So another species that's pretty popular in the Southwest is largemouth bass, and I've got a few lakes to talk about there. North Lemon is probably our best lake for largemouth. There's really nice sized fish up to 17 inches and good numbers too. Another lake that I wanted to mention for largemouth bass that anglers are pretty familiar with, but probably not for largemouth bass, is Patterson Lake by Dickinson. We recently stocked that with adults in 2021 to try to establish a largemouth bass fishery. And we sampled that this past year, and we found really nice size structure of bass up to 4 pounds, and we found that they've reproduced at least 2 of the years they've been in there, so they're doing really well. Another one to mention would be Sheep Creek. Traditionally it's been a good largemouth bass fishery, however anglers might want to avoid that one this year. We had a significant winter kill there last year, and so the bass numbers are really reduced. Crappie fishing in the Southwest, there's a couple lakes to note. Lake Chida has really nice sized crappies, maybe not as many numbers, but crappies up to 15 inches aren't uncommon there. As far as numbers, Sheep Creek is a good place for crappies. For numbers, there's a good class of crappies coming up there that are approaching 10 to 11 inches. So Ord Dam, as many people are familiar with, there's a big sediment removal project last winter, 2022 and 23, and in the spring we had a good runoff and it filled up, and so we were able to get fish stocked back in there right away. We stocked several hundred adult bluegills, and those are doing really well, growing really nice, and we found that they reproduced last year, which is what we were looking for. The walleye fingerlings that we stocked from the hatchery, those start out pretty small, about 1 inch to 2 long, and those did really well over the summer. They're approaching that 8-inch range last fall, and with the mild winter I expect that they'll survive pretty well. It'll probably still be a year or 2 before anglers see some opportunities from the walleyes. The bluegills, there might be some opportunity this year. They're growing nicely, so there might be some real tanks in there. I would say fishing will be pretty good across most of the district.